When exploring the Cape Town underworld, two names inevitably rise to the surface. A duo that climbed the ranks from influencing the streets of the Cape Flats to building a criminal empire with a firm grip on prime turf in the Cape Town CBD. In today's video, we unravel the intriguing story of Jerome and Colin Boon, brothers whose lives are steeped in power, controversy, and mystery. In 2013, a Mandrax factory was uncovered in Durbanville. The property was linked to none other than Jerome Donkie Booysen, a City of Cape Town building inspector and the alleged leader of the notorious Sexy Boys gang. As expected, Jerome denied any connection to the illicit operation, claiming to be nothing more than the landlord. But this drug bust marked the beginning of an intense investigation into his life, wealth, and personal dealings. Jerome's property portfolio, valued at over 20 million rand, painted a picture that was far from ordinary. While his modest job as a building inspector suggested a humble existence, his wealth told a different story, one of power and secrecy. For nearly 2 decades, Jerome appeared to live a typical working-class life, raising his family alongside his wife in a quiet neighborhood. Yet behind this facade lay his role as the mastermind of the Sexy Boys gang, a legacy he shared with his brothers, Michael and Colin Boon. The Boon brothers have long been synonymous with the Sexy Boys, a violent street gang that rose to prominence in Belleville during the 1990s. Colin, the eldest, served time for the murder of a police officer and left the gang's operations in Michael's hands. However, Michael's life of crime led to a life sentence in 2004, leaving Jerome to take the reins in 2014. A man whose outward respectability concealed a deeply entrenched criminal influence. Jerome's rise to power also brought him into partnership with Mark Liffman, a controversial figure in Cape Town's property and security industries. The two met in the mid-2000s, forging a bond that began with property deals and later expanded into the lucrative nightclub security business. In 2011, their reach extended after the fatal drive-by shooting of nightclub security boss Cyril Bika. While rumors swirled implicating Jerome and Mark in Bika's death, no evidence ever surfaced in court. Nevertheless, the duo soon became dominant players in Long Street and Cape Town's CBD, providing security and controlling access to a thriving drug market. Meanwhile, Colin, fresh out of prison, began carving his own path. Initially, he entered the taxi industry, purchasing vehicles with funds allegedly provided by Jerome. But as he returned to gang leadership, tensions brewed between the brothers. Colin's ambitious nature clashed with Jerome's calculated approach, leading to a gradual separation. Jerome maintained a careful balance between his criminal and business dealings, while Colin's involvement threatened to unravel the image Jerome had so meticulously crafted. By 2016, their partnership fractured entirely following an altercation between Colin and one of Jerome's close associates. The fallout saw Colin part ways, facilitated by negotiations led by security boss Andre N. Colin then joined forces with Nafiz Modak, building his own empire and challenging the control held by Jerome, Liffman, and their associates. The story of Jerome and Colin Boon is one of power struggles, loyalty, and betrayal, a tale that continues to leave its mark on Cape Town's criminal landscape. Join us as we uncover the intricate web of alliances and rivalries that defined their rise and the forces that ultimately drove them apart. By 2017, the rift between Jerome and Colin Boon had grown into a bitter and dangerous feud, marking a dramatic shift in Cape Town's underworld. The once united brothers now stood at the heads of rival factions, each allegedly leaving a trail of violence in their wake. Colin was linked to high-profile hits, including the deaths of Moran Desai and Shamin Mohammed in Cape Town, while Jerome's name surfaced in connection with the assassination of Brian Weinstein, infamously known as the Steroid King. Jerome's life became a game of survival. Between 2017 and 2018, he reportedly survived 6 assassination attempts, a testament to the high stakes and volatility of the Cape Town underworld. Despite their fractured relationship, Colin made one final gesture of brotherly concern, visiting Jerome in the hospital after one of these attempts. This fleeting act of solidarity would be the last between them, as their relationship deteriorated entirely in the following years. In 2020, the global pandemic slowed the world, but not the drama surrounding the Boon brothers. Colin was acquitted of extortion charges he faced alongside Nafiz Modak, his new ally in crime. This partnership had grown increasingly powerful, posing a direct challenge to Jerome's long-standing influence. On the other hand, Jerome faced mounting legal troubles. In 2021, he was formally charged with Weinstein's murder, an accusation that shook the criminal and business communities alike. Released on a 100,000 rand bail, Jerome's freedom was short-lived as he was later arrested in a separate drug trafficking case, a reflection of the deep scrutiny he now faced. As Colin moved deeper into the shadowy world of crime, his connections to the murders of Moran Desai and Shamin Mohammed came under official investigation. In 2024, he was charged in connection with these killings, signaling a turning point in his criminal career. Unlike Jerome, Colin was denied bail, leaving him to languish behind bars while his brother continued to navigate the legal system as a free man. Jerome's public stance has remained one of denial. He insists on his innocence in the Steroid King case, claiming he is the victim of a vendetta by corrupt officials and rival factions seeking to dismantle his empire. However, his protestations are overshadowed by a troubling pattern. Key witnesses and alleged co-conspirators connected to his cases have mysteriously vanished or died under suspicious circumstances.
Is that F1?
These developments have raised more questions than answers, intensifying speculation about Jerome's true influence and reach. The rivalry between the Boon brothers is not just a tale of personal betrayal, but also a reflection of the shifting dynamics within Cape Town's criminal landscape.
Yo, you should know that I play for
Once
kings.
allies,
Don't ever do me wrong and you can stay with me. Been through some tough times, baby I can't shed light. Don't trust cause my ex lied. Maybe I should take
And I've been through some tough times, told you my head's right. Heard about me, but you heard it through the grapevine. Baby girl, take time. We like a Birkin bag on your waistline. Come with this slow wine.
Girl, you make me feel away, yeah. Pretty brown skin, coming from Jamaica. You know I'm trying to get this paper. One woman, Mandela, you know, player. I wanna do you not fuck later. Even though I got a lot on my plate, just come my way. Oh, baby, just come my way. Baby girl, come.
Continents, and his murder further exposed the city's deep entanglement in illicit trade. Jerome's alleged involvement in this case positions him not only as a local power player, but also as someone whose influence may reach far beyond South Africa's borders. As the courts untangle these intricate webs of crime, the true power dynamics of Cape Town's underworld may finally come to light. For now, Jerome remains on the outside, continuing to assert his innocence and maintain his grip on his empire. Meanwhile, Colin faces a future behind bars, the consequence of a path that diverged sharply from his brother's calculated survival strategies. How this saga unfolds will determine much about the future of Cape Town's criminal scene. Will Jerome solidify his position as the city's ultimate power broker, or will the weight of legal challenges and internal betrayals bring his empire crashing down? If you've made it to the end of this gripping narrative, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated as we follow this unfolding story. Cape Town's underworld has never been more intriguing.